Hey there, my name is Nico and let's create a series of 3D lettering projects together. Don't feel intimidated with the complexity of 3D lettering because I'll be guiding you through the process step by step. Today's project is going to be colorful trailing letters like this. We will be using the 3D letter builder brushes to easily create the guides to achieve this effect. Don't worry if you don't have the brushes. I have prepared some downloadable guides for you to use to follow along the process. The links are in the description below. Let's dive right in. On a new canvas, create your lettering piece or simply type down any word using your font of choice. So I have here the word piece, and then I'm going to add the trailing effect to this specific lettering. First is we are going to create the guides, the trailing guides for this project. Let's create a new layer, select a new color, and just hide the lettering piece first. So we are going to go to the layered 3D categories. Here we have two types of brushes included in this pack. You have the liner brush, wherein you can customize the path or the trail for your lettering. And you also have stamps, pre-made stamps. So you have 45-degree rising. So the guys are already there. You also have center rising from big going up to a smaller lettering. So you have all these options to choose from. And if you want to customize a specific path, which is what we're going to do today, you can select or use any of these 4 liner brushes. Let me just quickly show you the difference. So layered liner is everything's consistent. It's just going to follow the path. So the next is pressure liner. So if you want like a colorful trail that starts big and goes small, or starts small and goes big, this is the brush you want to use. You also have rotating layer liner if you want something that rotates like that. This is what you're going to use. And rotating pressure layer liner is just a combination of rotating and having different sizes. So let's clear the sketch we did earlier, and now let's use the layer liner. Okay. So for this, we wanted to move like in a wavy direction going down, right? So just tap and just create the path like that. Okay. Let's create a bigger, or let's use a bigger brush. So tap and maybe like that. Like that. I think this looks like a nice path to follow. So let's just make this a bit smaller. Okay. If you notice, for our word, we have 5 letters, right? So does it mean you need to create 5 different paths? So it's really up to you. If you want the entire thing to move together, you only need 1 path, which is what we created. But if you want each letter to move on its own, to start and end at a different direction or position, you have to create a different path for each letter. But since we're just doing 1 path for the entire word, this one is fine. Since the guides that we're using are not changing in terms of size, we don't really need to resize our lettering to have the same height right there. So we don't need to do that. We just need to align basically the anchor point, the blue dot right here, to the corners of our guides. So let's do that now. Okay. So we're going to position our lettering to the bottom one, the bottom corner first, like that. Okay. And then we're going to duplicate it, moving it up 1 step at a time. The reason why we're starting at the bottom is because when we duplicate or create a new layer on Procreate, it's going to add to the top. So that if we start from the bottom, duplicate, 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 duplicate all the way up, we don't need to rearrange the layers anymore. Whereas if you started here and if you duplicate, you really have to keep on moving the layers, which can be a bit tedious. So first step is to move it to the corner. So what I like to do is I want to turn on alpha lock so that we don't have to turn on alpha lock for each layer next time. And then for the guides, I just want to change the color. So let's turn on alpha lock and give it a different color, maybe red fill layer, so that it's going to be easier for us to see. Whereas if the text is black and the guides are black, so it's going to be very confusing. So, okay, this is the first one. So let's duplicate this. Okay. Oh, but before that, every time you move, make sure you don't go to the edges. Otherwise, it's going to get cut. Okay. So for here, we already duplicated. So now let's move it. So this is the last box right here. So now we're going to move it to the second to the last box right there. See? Like that. So you don't need to follow all four corners of our guide. You just need one corner of it. Okay. So this is the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one, right? So just duplicate and align, duplicate, align, duplicate, and align. Basically, that's what we have to do. All right. So let's duplicate and move it to the third point right here. Duplicate, move it up right here. Duplicate, move it up here. Let's just move our screen. Okay. Duplicate, move it here. Duplicate, move it up. Duplicate, and move it up right here. Duplicate, move it up here. Duplicate, move it up here. Duplicate, move it up here. Okay, sometimes it can be very confusing with all of these lines. So just try to look for the corner. So here is a corner. So you know that you have to move it there. Okay. Duplicate. Here is another corner. Duplicate. Corner. Duplicate and corner. We still have more. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So we can now hide the guide and let's just select them all and move them to the center. Like that. Okay. And then we're going to color them one at a time. So if you already have your gradient planned out, like this one, you could just color pick and color fill each one. But let me show you how to create your own color gradient. So what you do is just go to a new layer and then just add the colors. For example, this starts with a teal. So just look for teal and then use a brush, any big brush, and then just color. And then the next color I use is a bit of a darker blue. So I think it's this one. Just brush it like that. And then I think I used violet right here. Something more pink here. And then shifted to red. And then back to blue again. And then to a darker blue. Like that. Just color it and then add Gaussian blur to blend them together like that. And then what I do is I just flip horizontally and just cut it on the edge there. And then if you want to adjust the colors, feel free to do that right now so that you could see the colors that you want. And if you want to blur them again, just turn on alpha lock, Gaussian blur, and yeah, it's gonna blur it a bit more. There you have it. That's how you create your own gradient for this project. So since we already made one, let's just use the new one that we just did. So you can start on top or below. It's really up to you. So for this one, I want the background to be black. So let me just make it black. So you don't see anything right now. But the first one, let's make it white. So just invert it. There you have the first layer. The second layer, we're going to color pick. So to color pick on Procreate, just hold your finger and just move it to the top. Select and fill the layer with that, like that. Next is color pick. And then we're going to color pick one level at a time. So the great thing about Procreate is that the ring right here, the one below is your current color, and the one on top is the new color that you're going to select. So from here, you can already see how different it is going to be from the first layer or first color that you chose. So you could just slowly move it down until you have some change in color, and then you could just stop there and color fill. Then do the same thing again, move it a bit down until you see some color change. Fill layer. Some color change. Fill layer. Color. I think this is good. Fill layer. Let's just do the same thing. Okay, now I could notice some color change. So fill layer on the next layer. Then just fill layer. Color pick. 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 And then fill layer. Color pick again. Fill layer. I think you have one last layer. Color pick. Fill layer. There you have it. It's super easy, right? So if ever you want to adjust the spacing, because sometimes you might have like some holes in there that doesn't look nice, you can easily rearrange everything. All you have to do is just switch your guide back on and then just resize it. So for example, you want to bring them farther. So just increase the size a little bit like that. There. Okay. And then you can now move them again. So select this one, the last one, move it to the corner again, like that. Move this one to the corner there. Select this, move it to the corner. Select the next one, move it to the corner. Select and move. Okay. It's going to be a bit confusing because the colors are a bit close to each other. But try to focus on moving it to the correct corner. This is the correct corner. This is the correct corner. Oops. Oh, here. It's supposed to be here. Here, that's a corner. This one is gonna be... Okay, I'm confused. Oh, here. It's gonna be here. This corner. This one is gonna be here. The second to the last one. It's going to be here. And the top one is going to be here. Perfect. Now let's just select everything. And then move it to the center. Okay. We are done. So in case you notice that something is missing, for example, this one is missing. So if you notice like a gap, it means that you're missing one layer. So all you have to do is just duplicate and then just move it. But make sure you bring your guides back in. So that you can move it to the right guide right there. But I think we moved it a bit, so it's going to be here. There. And then just bring your gradient back on. And then just look for your color. So I think this is the color. So just move back up a bit. There. And then fill it. Oops, wait. It's supposed to be somewhere here. Sorry. Let's select that again. So here's a color. And then we're going to select something just above it. Maybe this one. Color fill layer. There. That's how you fill in like a missing layer. Hide this layer, hide the gradient, and yeah, there you have it. A colorful trailing letters. It's super, super easy to create a really nice trailing colorful lettering, right? Using the 3D letter builder guides. Try recreating this 3D lettering piece. You can use your own word or type in a different word using your favorite font. And when you're done, I would love to see it, so share it with me at niconang.co. If you want to recreate this piece without the brushes, you can download the guides for this 3D project and other 3D projects of this series. I'll put the link in the description below. It's free on my website. But if you have the letter builder pack, I challenge you to create a more complex, colorful trailing letters. Maybe each letter is coming from a different direction. I don't know, just try to expand your creativity using the letter builder guides, specifically the layered 3Ds. And yeah, I would love to see what you come up with. If you want to get this pack, the link to my website is going to be down below. If you have any questions about this project or my process, feel free to comment it below. And make sure to check out the other project tutorials of this 3D lettering series. I'll see you in the next one.